In today's news, House of Assembly reflects on the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Honorable Julian Fraser RA questions absence of special sitting tributes. BVI to observe World Pharmacist Day. CIBC First Caribbean Hunt for the Cure car rally is set to go ahead of the Walk for the Cure. CIBC First Caribbean finances sustainability-linked debt conversion of marine conservation on behalf of the Gov't of Barbados. Mia Motley testified before the USA House Committee on Financial Services in the Caribbean. We have the details of this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home. Keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everybody. It's Wednesday, September 21st, 2022. I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for your time. Beginning our newscast, ahead of debates at Tuesday's sitting of the Virgin Islands House of Assembly, members of the House were given the opportunity to express their condolences and share their memories of the reign of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Madam Speaker, it is no question in my mind that 70 years just being alive is a blessing and a gift that God would bestow upon us, but is also one that a life of service, Madam Speaker, should be recognized for what it is. Madam Speaker, I know there has been, up until yesterday, the United Kingdom and all of the overseas territories had observed 11 days of mourning for the passing of the Queen. I know the Honorable Premier, the Honorable Natalia Whitley, and the Governor and Miss Bradshaw from the BVI London office were representing the territory along with other OT prime ministers and leaders to attend the funeral services, as well as many other ceremonies, including those that we have observed here in the BVI. It is never good losing a loved one. It's not something that you can just get accustomed to. And I know to her immediate family and those that she left behind, they would have their memories.
After listening to multiple brief tributes in which members reflected on the Queen's great legacy, shared memories of her visit to the territory, and noted the importance of maintaining a positive relationship with the monarchy now led by King Charles III, Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Julian Fraser RA, rose to chastise the House for not honoring the Queen with a special sitting for tributes on her passing.
Madam Speaker, as the rest of the world mourns, we here in the Virgin Islands mourn as well. I must say, Madam Speaker, that this Honorable House, for some reason, has dropped the ball, because we should have had a special sitting for tributes as a House of Assembly to the Queen on her passing.
Nonetheless, viewers, Honorable Fraser continued in the pattern of that Tuesday morning's proceedings and to offer his condolences to the royal family. He also reflected on the changes which have already begun and the changes that are due to come with the new monarch.
I wish to extend condolence to the family, the royal family, like everyone else. After all, Madam Speaker, the Constitution says there shall be a legislature, and it started with the Queen. That will change to the King. So it means that we should indeed pay special homage to the monarch. Madam Speaker, imagine for 70 years, that's more years than a whole lot of people in the Virgin Islands have been on this earth. And it's more years than few people in the Virgin Islands has been on the earth. And for all those 70 years, Madam Speaker, you could remember Her Majesty the Queen, Her Majesty the Queen. And one day you wake up and it's no longer so. It is akin almost, Madam Speaker, to saying, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. She maketh me to lie down in green pastures." When, lo and behold, Madam Speaker, everything changes in the Virgin Islands. It only hit me when I learned that the lawyers that I got so used to being called QCs has to be now KCs. And I'm like, really? Then I started thinking, I'm the leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition now.
Fraser went on to recognize while Her Majesty's passing has been a time to pay special homage, particularly in the Commonwealth and overseas territories where she was head of state up until her death, in many places it has drawn mixed feelings from citizens and social leaders across the world.
So, Madam Speaker, this woman was a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence on the face of this earth. I don't think you're ever going to see someone who would sit on a throne for 70 years again. Madam Speaker, when we are talking today, a lot of us are talking today about the British and the British rule, what the monarchy meant to the world. Not in glowing terms in every corner of the conversation, Madam Speaker, not in glowing terms. There are people in South Africa who refuse to acknowledge our existence, much less our passing. There are people in other parts of the world who feel the same way, even in Jamaica and even here in BVI. But when I look, Madam Speaker, there's no denying the association of the royalty with the atrocities that took place in the world. But I took my cue, Madam Speaker, from Nelson Mandela. And everyone knows what he's been through in South Africa with apartheid. Everyone knows that. And there's no decoupling in all true consciences. There's no decoupling of the atrocities that took place with apartheid and the British Crown and all the rest of it. There's no decoupling of that. But I took my cue from Nelson Mandela. And when I watched him, Madam Speaker, and the type of camaraderie that was developed between Mandela and Queen Elizabeth II, who am I? Who am I to cast stones?
Fraser said he has no doubt that King Charles III will be a good king because ahead of taking the throne, he has had every necessary experience, even if only by observation of his mother. In the coming days, the British Virgin Islands, for the very first time, will hold a national observance of World Pharmacist Day, a day set aside internationally for the celebration of pharmacists, pharmaceutical scientists, and technicians in the field of pharmacy. In a special edition of the GIS report, Chief of Drugs and Pharmaceutical Services, Gracia Wheatley-Smith spoke to the importance of having such an observation in the territory of the Virgin Islands, particularly on the heels of unprecedented circumstances which have unfolded in the territory in recent years.
World Pharmacist Day is an annual celebration in honor of our hard-working pharmacists. This will be the first time it is observed in the British Virgin Islands, and we say toot toot to our hardworking pharmacy team, pharmacy technicians who will have their own celebration on another day. But we give God thanks that this day we are choosing to observe our hardworking pharmacists who have been here for us during COVID, ensuring that we get our medications, and even after Hurricane Irma and Maria devastated, when they could have been home with their families, they were out making sure that patients had access. So it's a day to recognize your pharmacists, to show them some love, because we work hard to ensure that you get optimum pharmacy care, to ensure that your conditions are under control, such as diabetes, asthma, and that your infections are treated to the best of our ability as health workers.
Mrs. Wheatley-Smith was joined by pharmacist Akima Janki Emmanuel, who reflected on this year's theme for World Pharmacist Day, which is Pharmacy United in Action for a Healthier World.
What this really means is that we as pharmacists around the globe, our aim is to provide optimum health care to everyone, no matter where you are in the world. And we're looking to strengthen the profession.
World Pharmacist Day was commissioned by the International Pharmaceutical Federation Council at the World Congress of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Services in 2009. Globally, it is observed on September 25th because this is the day that the IFP came on stream in 1912. Observations in the BVI will be held on Friday, September 23rd, 2022. When 284 News returns, Kyron McMaster shares inspiration across the generations during home visit to the Virgin Islands, and CIBC First Caribbean Hunt for the Cure car rally is set to go ahead of the Walk for the Cure. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. You're watching 284 News.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch at camp? You say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take two Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. Viewers, welcome back. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. Continuing on the local scene here in Tortola, within moments of stepping back onto home soil on September 15th, returning hero 400-meter hurdler Kyron McMaster had his audience basking in his positive energy as he was welcomed back into the International Departure Lounge at the Rotown Ferry Terminal by family members, government officials, and media for his brief visit to the Virgin Islands. Now, the recurring theme in the welcome remarks shared by Acting Governor His Excellency David D. Archer Jr., Acting Premier, Honorable Kai Reimer, and Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, and Sports, the Honorable Cherie B. De Castro, was the selflessness of McMaster as he consistently steered the limelight away from his own achievements to focus on the needs of the aspiring athletes in the community and the necessity to directing resources to developing the sport across the board. Now, his gold medal winning performance at the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games was acknowledged by speakers for making history as the first time the territorial song was played at a major international game, an emotional occasion generating tears of pride and joy. McMaster was also recognized for being a true ambassador for the territory of the Virgin Islands. Kyron is an athlete, but he is more than that. He is an ambassador supreme for the British Virgin Islands, said Ephraim Penn, president of the BVI Commonwealth Games Association. He has done so much for his country. He carries himself in a special way and is always looking out for the next generation of athletes, directing any offer of assistance to those that are coming up. He has always shown that genuine concern for the other athletes, and I take this opportunity to thank him for his genuine interest in sports development and to thank Kyron and the other senior athletes who, through their hard work, of course, are paving the way for young athletes of the future. Receiving a reward check from the government of the Virgin Islands in the amount of $38,000 presented to him by the Honorable Cherie B. De Castro, McMaster voiced his appreciation for the funds, acknowledging the payment as being a motivator for his gold medal wins at the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games, which earned him $30,000, and the NACAC Championships with a national reward of $8,000. Both competitions took place in August. I've been around the block, experiencing the highs and the lows, and I know what's in store for the future athletes, McMaster said, whose path to winning championship titles included consecutive 8th-place finishes. He said, "If you don't have the push, it's easy to quit, so I feel it is imperative that we target the younger ones now because they are blinded by not seeing the success of working hard straight away, which therefore makes it easier for them to stray. It's necessary for them to see the journey and hard work to get to this point of success." McMaster stated that his future goals include contesting the gold medal at the World Championships and the Olympics, which he plans to achieve by making some changes and working smarter. His ultimate goal is to break the world record and put the BVI in the sports history books around the world. During his time at home, McMaster visited 2 alma maters in the territory of the BVI, which are the Ebenezer Thomas Primary School in Seacoast Bay and the Elmore South High School in Rotown. On September 16th, the ETPS received McMaster with a lineup of students with placards bearing his name and chanting "Welcome Home." Remarks were shared by Principal Mrs. Sybil Hodge, District Representative the Honorable Julian Fraser, R.A., President Penn, BVI Athletics Association President Steve Augustine, and Honorable De Castro. An interactive Q&A session with the kindergartners through 6th grade were rounded off with McMaster signing scores of autographs before being challenged to a couple of races on the playground. McMaster secured his reputation with the school children by winning the impromptu events, leaving one student to wonder whether the 2 races were the fastest time the champion had ever run. Junior students at the Elmore South High School listened intently to McMaster as he spoke at the 8 a.m. assembly on September 20th. Reflecting on his own experience, he advised his audience that if they wanted to succeed in life, they should pay attention to their teachers and to work hard, as a failure to do so now will lead to a tougher journey in the future. He also admonished anyone listening to be true to themselves, set aside negative attitudes, find a passion, set a goal, and execute in order to earn their bread. His words hit home not just with the youngsters, but also the adults in attendance who thanked him for the inspiration to stop procrastinating and reset their focus on achieving their dreams. McMaster's schedule of public engagements ended with a reception at Government House hosted on September 20th by the acting governor of the Virgin Islands. The event brought full circle the receptions hosted by His Excellency the Governor for the Birmingham 2022 Queen's Baton Relay in May and the send-off in July for the athletes and delegation who participated in the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games. The upcoming major games McMaster plans to compete at include the San Salvador 2023 CAC Games in El Salvador from June 23rd to July 8th, the 2023 World Athletics Championships in Hungary, August 19th to the 27th, the Santiago 2023 Pan American Games in Chile, October 20th to November 5th, and the Paris 2024 Olympics in France, which are being held from July 26th to August 11th. Congratulations to Kyle McMaster and thank him for, of course, sharing his experiences with the youth of the Virgin Islands. The second Hunt for the Cure fundraiser for the annual CIBC First Caribbean Walk for the Cure takes place this Saturday, September 24th, 2022, after being rescheduled due to the passage of Hurricane Fiona. The car rally is organized in collaboration with the BVI Cancer Society and starts from the bank's car park at Wickham Road Town at 10 a.m. All proceeds will go to the BVI Cancer Society. The car rally takes participants on a fun adventure around Tortola before returning to the CIBC First Caribbean car park. Participants are invited to register as a team of 2, 3, or 4 persons, and participating teams will receive a $25 Sol fuel voucher on that day. The prizes, which are suitable for all ages to enjoy, include Necker Island Wildlife Tour with Gumption's Learning Adventure, a Gumption's Sea Eclair Glass Bottom Boat Reef Tour, and a boat day trip based on a theme, a community of care and hope. Teams also can win special category prizes with the best thematical dressed vehicle on the Best of Message and Hope for Cure. Registration in advance for participants is strongly encouraged. Entry fees per vehicle are $80 for a 2-person team, $120 for a team of 3, and $160 for a 4-person team, and $200 for a corporate team with an opportunity to brand the vehicle. Registration on the day is possible with a charge of $20 extra per vehicle. All funds raised will be added to the monies raised by the Walk for the Cure event, which was held on October 8th. Now, this is the second year that we will host the Hunt for the Cure, which received enthusiastic support when we first held the event in 2021, said Fabian Devonish, branch manager for Retail Platinum and Business Banking, who is serving the Country Walk for Cure manager. The car rally is a fun way to spend time with friends and family and a great opportunity to test your knowledge of the BVI or indeed learn something new. The gift of the $25 fuel voucher from Sol, no doubt, also will be welcomed by all participants. We'll also have some refreshments on sale that treasure hunters and the public can enjoy, knowing that monies will be going towards an incredibly vital cause, he said. Now, entry forms for the Hunt for the Cure can be downloaded from the event page on the same name on CIBC First Caribbean International Bank's Facebook page or requested by email from fabian.devonish@cibcfirstcaribbean.com. That is Fabian, FABIAN.DEOVNISH@cibcfirstcaribbean.com. Viewers, when 284 News returns, Mia Motley has testified before the U.S. House Committee. We have the details of that and so much more. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that The difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI love.
Viewers, welcome back. I want to thank you so much for sticking with us. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Of course, I want to encourage you to stick to our website at 284media.com for all of these stories that have been published and written, but we could not get to today, of course. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We are 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media in Tortola, British Virgin Islands. Of course, we are also on social media at YouTube and Instagram and Twitter at 284 Media and 284 BVI, and of course Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. Do have a beautiful rest of the day. Happy Wednesday. Bye-bye.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch and care? You don't say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Yo, everything good, Dad? Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I even watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.